Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. This video is just going to be all about PT at basic military training and in the Air Force in general. So I know that PT is something that scares a lot of people away from joining the Air Force or from joining the military just because you might not be very active, but I promise you, do not let PT scare you away, because if this is something you're really wanting to do, if you just put in a little bit of effort, I promise it will go a long way, and I promise that BMT sets you up to pass the PT test. One of the girls in my flight, a couple of girls in my flight, literally could not do like one push-up, and by the end of it they were able to do the amount of push-ups they were supposed to, and they passed. So I promise you can do it. I know it might not seem like you can, but I promise you can. And just by doing like extra stuff and actually working hard on the days we were able to do PT, my numbers increased a lot for my push-ups and my sit-ups and my runs. So if you actually try, I promise it will not be that bad. So I'll just kind of start with the standards. So males, I'm sorry if you're watching this, I do not know the male standards. The PT test is set up in 1 minute intervals, so you have a minute to do as many sit-ups as you can, a minute to do as many push-ups as you can, and then you do a 1.5 mile run. You also do, at BMT, you do pull-ups, but they don't count towards your actual score. So for all PT tests, you will do your run first, and then push-ups, and then sit-ups. So for females, I'm not 100% positive what the minimum run time is, or the maximum run time. I think it's like 16:28 or something like that. So it's not something, you know, that's like unreasonable. But for push-ups, you have to do a minimum of 18 push-ups, and then for sit-ups you have to do a minimum of 38 sit-ups. So that is not that bad to do in a minute. And I know before I was like, I don't think I can do 18 push-ups, but I promise you can do a lot more than you think, especially in the moment. So when you first get to BMT, you don't do PT for the first like 3 or 4 days, and you do PT on that first Saturday, and you do like an initial PT test just to see what your numbers are. And then you take a PT test 4th week, and you take your final PT test 6th week, which is when you have to pass to graduate basic training. So take PT seriously while you were there, because you don't want to get to 6th week and you don't want to be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to fail my PT test. Like, I can only do 10 push-ups, or I can only do 30 sit-ups. Like, set yourself up to where you do not have to worry about failing the PT test. So I know something that really helped me was having a partner. So my BFF Lee, me and her kind of like ran at the same pace, and so I'm not a runner at all, and so running with her on the days that we had run days seriously helped me a lot, because she pushed me and I wasn't running at a slow pace, and it really helped my time increase. Well, it helped my time go down, but it helped my score like go up. So that really helped me, and then it also helped like with my push-ups and sit-ups, because you have plenty of time throughout the day to work on push-ups and sit-ups. So take advantage of that and do them as many as you can. Do that as many times as you can, just to help your numbers get better. I mean, if you're just like standing there doing nothing, like do some push-ups and sit-ups, it can't help, or it can't hurt at all. So that's something that really helps. So the way that PT is set up at BMT, it is literally set up to help you improve your run, improve your push-ups, and improve your sit-ups. So we do PT every single day at BMT except for Sundays. So it alternates back and forth between run days and strength days. And kind of as the weeks go on, your days that you actually have PT seem to kind of disappear, just because you guys have a lot to do and you might have appointments or something like that. So I know that I went to every single PT day that we had, unless like we didn't have it as a whole flight. So, but people, you know, who have a lot of appointments to go to, you will miss PT a lot, and you know, you don't want to miss PT just because it helps. And so on the run days, you do a 26-minute run. So I know to some of you that might seem like a really long time if you have not ran a day in your life, but I promise it gets a lot easier. And especially if you just run like 2 or 3 times a week before going down there. I'm not saying go run 4 miles, 5 miles, 6 miles, because then you're gonna have shin splints and that's gonna suck. But you know, just go run a mile, go run 1.5 miles, run 1/4 mile, walk 1/4 mile, run 1/4 mile, walk 1/4 mile. You know, anything helps. Anything is better than doing nothing at all. So just run a little bit before you go, and I promise it will help when you get down there. So you start out by doing stretches, and everyone does stretches together. You do the airman song, airman's create, all that, and then you do a 6-minute sprint. Yeah, well, you do 30-second sprint and then 30 seconds walk, and you do that for 6 minutes, and then you do the 26-minute self-paced run. And you're out like on a track. It's kind of, I mean, it's not like a real track, but it's like set up like a track, and then there's different lanes based on how fast you can run. So that's pretty much all you do on run days, and then you go back and you stretch, and then you go back to your squadron and either, you know, shower, eat, whatever. So on the strength days, so this was just like every other day from the run days. The strength days, same thing. You'd march out there, you'd stretch, do the Airman's Song, Airman's Creed. Well, you do the Airman's Song and Airman's Creed first, and then you stretch. And then I don't really remember exactly everything that you did, but I know you do sit-ups, so you do mountain climbers, you do push-ups, you do leg lifts, and then you do like in and outs, so you kind of sit in like a crunch position. And I don't really want to try to do this right now, but just like look it up on the internet. Look up what in and outs are if you don't know what they are. But you do in and outs, you do like a glute bridge, so you lay on the ground, put your feet flat, whoa, put your feet flat, and then you like lift your butt up, and then what else do you do? Yeah, that kind of sounds like a lot of it. I don't really remember everything else that you did. Oh, you do like these burpee things, they're called squat jumps. You do those, and then you do pyramid push-ups. Oh my gosh, these are killer. This is like the very last thing you do, so you know when you get to them, you're like, okay, after this, I know I'm done. But basically what you do is you do a push-up and you count. So, oh, sorry, I forgot to mention that. So while you're doing that, you count the whole time. Like, you count out everything that you're doing. So when you do the pyramid push-up, like, you count 1 sir, 1 ma'am, whoever is leading PT, and then you roll over on your back, and you stick your arms up in the air, and you go like this. And I know, you're probably like, that's so easy. But I promise, you start at 1, and then you do 2, and you do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you go down. And by the end of it, your arms, you're like, and you're dead. And a lot of people like put their hands together and they're like, why are you doing that? Like, because it doesn't really help, but you know, it just makes you feel better. So that's pretty much it for PT. I think I got everything in there that I wanted to talk about. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any other questions about PT, anything I didn't talk about, please feel free to comment down below and I will answer your guys' questions. And I also have other videos about basic training that I'll link down below if you're interested to hear more about basic training. But thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. And to those of you going to basic soon, good luck.